I'm going to be ranking classes in the game according to how impressive that class is playing in solo. Is it harder for those classes to win? That's S tier. Or is it easier for that class to win? Then it's D tier, right? We go right down to the bottom. It's just my opinion. It's not facts. So keep that in mind. What's next? Smite Cleric. An excellent recommendation. Smite Cleric. Guys, where is Smite Cleric? Smite Cleric has 2 builds now. One is fast, one is slow. Again, there are some classes where I'm not doing a nuanced kind of bifurcation, right? Based on gear, based on perk allocation. I'm not for sure yet. I'm putting Smite Cleric in B or C. I think it is easier for this class to win than not, and therefore it is less impressive. It still has some respect from me, but I think that this is a less impressive class in solo, although there are things it has to overcome. Let's talk about it. What are some of the things the Cleric has to overcome? What are some of the disadvantages that Cleric has to fight through to win? Well, similar to the Plate Lock, similar to the Slayer Fighter, the Smite Cleric is melee only, basically, right? And can't drop aggro. I have a respect for any class that has to actually try to take PvP combat with PvE in the mix, right? Clerics cannot drop mob aggro and therefore have more of a lift, and therefore get more respect from my POV. They're also melee only, which makes them very vulnerable to range damage. It makes them very vulnerable to faster classes that can walk away and reset or do chip damage, right? I've seen my share of end boss playing in dungeon, playing in the arena, just losing his mind because his opponent is just walking slightly faster than he is walking, right? And I have respect for that aspect of the game. I have respect for predominantly melee-only classes that have to navigate a solo environment where everyone else is basically faster than you. What else is impressive about solo Smite Cleric gameplay? They have limited ranged options, okay? You really have to adjust your playstyle. Limited also resourcefulness. So not only do they move slowly, right, on foot, but also they have to open doors, right? Having a lower resourcefulness, having generally like a lower action speed, right? It just means that everything about the melee play of this class is clunkier. It's slower to pull your weapons out. It's slower to open doors. And those things I empathize with. I connect with these things as a shield fighter. Smite is good for catching, to be fair. Well, let's talk about that. Because if you notice here, we put Smite Cleric closer to the bottom, right? I am overall less impressed with this class than I am impressed by them. Why? What are the unfair advantages of Smite Cleric? Huge damage and hit slow. Once you're in melee, if you're in a melee combat with Smite Clerics, it's very, very difficult. You almost have to run away. Like it is a very difficult thing. For my shield fighter biased POV, there are so many stupid advantages that melee clerics get actually in the melee fight, right? Clerics will get run around, clerics will get shot to pieces, but as a shield fighter, someone who wants to engage in melee, I feel like they have huge damage. I feel like if they have divine protection, then they are ostensibly invulnerable, right? And for other classes that are trying to escape the hit slow, especially with faithfulness and smite, if you're hit once, you're dead. And that is almost equivalent to a one-shot build. If the cleric hits a rogue, hits a ranger, hits a caster, hits anyone trying to make space, and they have faithfulness and they're doing divine damage, that player is dead, basically. And I think that's dumb. I think that's basically a one-shot build. It's inescapable, almost. It's too easy for the melee cleric, the Smite Cleric, to win a melee fight once the melee fight has started and you're in melee range. It's too easy, and therefore I do not respect it. Also, the Morningstar as a weapon, combined with the terrible server performance in this game, the desync in this game, is pure jank. As a shield fighter, someone who wants to, again, block first, play with nuance, have a combat dialogue, fighting against the Morningstar, it's tied for my least favorite one-handed weapon to go against. It's the Falchion or it's the Morningstar. It has tremendous reach, okay? it swings. It actually has a very fast release animation, and that makes it really difficult to react to anticipate because of desync. The Morningstar winds up and then it attacks very quickly. That means by the time you see the wind up on your screen, the next part of the attack animation has already been executed by your opponent's client. So it's almost impossible to react properly to the wind up of the Morningstar because the release is so quick. And the way that desync works in this game is it makes fighting, trying to block the Morningstar reliably, very, very difficult. Factor in player skill, a player's ability to jump and hit over the shield. It's almost impossible to react to the swing of the Morningstar using a shield. There's just too many advantages to the Morningstar for me to have any respect for it. So despite the fact that the Smite Cleric has to only do melee damage, can't drop aggro, gets shot to pieces, gets run around, the fact that once they're in melee range, it's way too easy for them to win and survive, and therefore I do not respect them. I have majority disrespect. I'm not impressed by Smite Clerics playing in solo. I'm not impressed.